Thank you for coming back today at our channel, The Physics Mindset. Now, today we are going to learn about electrical symbols. Very many students, electricians, engineers, technicians ask themselves that to learn electrical wiring or diagram, it is a bit difficult. Yes, it is difficult. It is very difficult because you don't know electrical symbols. The moment you master electrical symbols, electrical drawing will be easy for you. Even yourself, you can start designing electrical designs or electrical wiring. Someone can call you to design a wiring, but once you don't know electrical symbols to design electrical wiring, it will be hard for you to design an electrical wiring, meaning you will not know where you will press a main switch, you will not know where you press a switch and a circuit breakers, okay? Now, the moment you know where you can locate a lamp, a main switch, a socket, okay? You will know the diagram. The moment you know the diagrams, these electrical symbols, you will always be able to design or identify the electrical wiring diagram in any installations, because these electrical symbols, they help us to know and to follow the wiring diagram of a building. Okay, when you're wiring a building and you see these electrical symbols, you will know that here they need a cooker control unit. Here it is where we put a main switch, designed by the electrical or technical designers in electrical installations. Okay, these designers or technical designers, they design an installation, a builder architecture, because, okay, for example, in a construction, we need the architecture, a builder, an electrician, an electrical designer, a carpenter, a plumber, and the people working on the steel benders. Okay, now an electrical designer or an electrician is the one who is going to do the work. Now, electrical or engineering designer of electrical plan will draw an electrical plan. After an architecture doing his architectural work, electrician will come and draw drawings and fix the drawings of how the wiring is going to move on an architectural plan. Even a plumber will come and also put how his pipes are going to, how the drainage is going to move in that architectural plan. After they combine one thing. Now, without knowing the electrical symbols, you can't wire or you can't read the electrical plan. If you're an electrician, you're a technician, or you're a student who is learning electrical engineering, this is an essential topic to master. There are very many electrical plans. There are very, very many, because electrical is very wide. It's a wide subject. Okay, now I'm going to give you a bit of one of the basic symbols which we use in an electrical installation. One of them is the main switch. This is the symbol we use for a main switch. If you find an electrical plan, okay, or a wiring plan, if you see a symbol like this, it will show you that this is a main switch. And you will know that when you're going to install an electrical installation, you know where you're going to put a main switch. Either they have placed it in the sitting room, either in the dining room, either in the kitchen, either in the corridor. It will be showing you where you're going to install the main switch. That is why we study electrical symbols, to know where am I going to press my switch. Is this position, or is this position good to press a double pole, a single pole switch, or a two-way? Okay, we know these electrical symbols help us to read an electrical plan. Okay. Another symbol is the symbol of a socket outlet. A socket outlet is this. Now, this socket outlet, this socket with a lamp, it means it has a lamp. Yes, this is a socket. Then if you see a symbol of X, X means bulb, meaning this socket outlet has a bulb in it, right? It has a light. There are sockets with lights. I think you have ever seen them. For example, a socket like this, it has here 3, then it has a switch and a small LED light inside, which shows when you switch on, this light will light on. Mostly it is red in color. Some sockets have this pilot lamp. Okay, it is a small lamp inside to show that a socket is on. Power is inside. The moment you switch off, also the pilot lamp will switch off, meaning there is no power in the socket. Okay, and that is why the use of that light. Now, if you see a socket on the wiring diagram having this a socket outlet symbol and it has an X inside, it means there is a socket. You must install a socket with a socket showing with this pilot lamp. Don't just a socket. There are very many types. Don't bring types which the client doesn't want. Electricians or engineers who are dealing in electrical wiring plan, they first talk with the clients. The moment they talk with the clients, now they talk about how. They ask a client, how do you want your electricity to be? A client gives them a clue about the electricity, how he wants the lights to be in his premises or his house. Okay. Now, the moment the engineer gets that information, he tries to advise the client about the lighting system. And the moment he can advise the moment he is advising a client, he can show the client that you can use such socket outlets which have a pilot lamp. It looks good. It tells your kids that the socket has power. You will not call electrician to check for you with a tester. This light can represent a tester, that a socket, it is on position. There is some power there. Don't play with the socket. The same way also, even the main switch. Engineers, they design the main switch after a client telling them the position where they want their main switch to be. Sometimes a client may not be knowledge about electrical installations, and it is your role or purpose as an engineer to tell or to advise a client that the main switch is supposed to be here or in this position or this position. But a client can tell you that he wants a main switch outside his house. That is not professional. Now you come up as your professional, you advise that let us install a main switch in this position, or in the kitchen, or in the corridor, where it is accessible in case of a faulty. Okay, you can run and break the main circuit breaker so that the house, in case there is a short circuit, you can break. Everyone can have access to the main switch. Always, main switches are installed where everyone has access. Don't put a main switch on the ceiling. Don't put it very far. Put it where someone, if there is a problem of electrical fire, let's say electrical circuits, short circuits, where everyone has access, even though he's running, saving his life, he can switch off. That's why it is normally installed in a corridor when you're getting out, or in a kitchen near the outside door. Okay, That is, we shall see those things in regulations when we start the electrical regulations. Regulations that where you need to install a switch, where you need to install a socket, where you need to install a main switch, and the lights, the distance. We calculate the distance. Don't just put a switch in the center of the wall. Or as a switch, it must be near the door. The moment before you even step inside your house, the first thing to do after opening your door is to switch on the light so that you can see where you're going. But don't put a switch the other side of the bed. And you first enter, you first pour things, you pour water to reach the switch so that you can see things. Switch is installed. The moment you open your door, the first thing is the switch so that you continue seeing where you're going. Okay, let's jump again in our topic of electrical symbols. Now, I was giving you an example of a socket outlet which is having X. X means is a symbol which shows a bulb. A bulb. There is a bulb inside. Even though it's a small bulb, but it indicates a bulb, X. Okay? Now, another thing there is, again, we have seen another symbol for a socket. But it has a slight dash with the 2. Sometimes it is the 3, sometimes it is the 4. But here I have put 2. But this is the symbol for the socket. On your wiring plan, electrical wiring plan of the buildings, you will see these symbols. If you master these symbols, you will know that they mean a socket. If you see a room with this symbol, just know there is a socket there. I need to install the socket. Now you will not have to ask someone that, where should I put for you sockets? Okay? You just get a plan, you read the plan, okay? Get a plan like this. Let's say this is the plan. Get a plan, read the plan. There is a socket here, there is a main switch here, there is a socket with the light, okay? Here there is a socket. If the plan is showing 2, socket is showing 2, it means these are two outlets. A multiple socket outlet. Here I have put 2. Sometimes they can put 3 or 4. Meaning, in that position, you will put 4 sockets. Okay? Socket outlets. If there are 2, put 2 sockets. 1 and 2. Install 2 sockets. Okay? Before they put a plaster, you as a technician put MK. 2 MKs. Meaning, you're going to wire there 2 sockets. If they put here 4 or 5 sockets, put a MKs in the building, or down here 5 sockets. Then you go on the map, you read here I want a socket outlet with a lamp, because there is a symbol of X, meaning this socket needs to be indicating some light when it is on. And that is the type of, when you're going to buy in the shop, you go designing that, oh, here there is only one which is having a lamp. Main switch is okay, it is here in the corridor. Then you go in the corridor, you chisel, you install before they plaster. Okay, that is the plan after time of pipe work. Okay, now I was showing you how you read the plan, electrical plan. Now there is another electrical symbol which shows these circles. Okay, 1 circle, 2 circle. There are 2 circles. They indicate a push button. Okay, it indicates push button. Push button, this is the button where you push, like the one which starts the machines in the factory. That's a push button. They use push button to switch on. The spring will hold it inside there. Then to switch off, again you push, then the spring will release. Then the switch will come outside. Okay, that is a push button switch, and this is a push button. This is the symbol for it. Okay, now there is again a push button But there is X. Remember I told you X represents a bulb. Okay? A push button with a bulb. That's another thing. It is a push button which is lighting. Now, check the motor starters. Okay? Those buttons which start when your switch starting, either it is in red, either green, either yellow. You push the green to show that you have switched on, it will light up. Okay? When you push it to switch off, it will light off. And that is, its symbol is this. A push button with a bulb. Like in the socket, a socket with a bulb. Okay? Now, we have another symbol. I know these symbols, you are going to use them in electrical when you're designing electrical wiring diagram, or when you are interpreting an electrical wiring installation. If you see these symbols, you will know what to do as engineers, as electricians. Okay? There is this symbol, which is the electric bell. If you see on the electrical wiring diagram of an installation of a house, and you see this symbol, you will know that this is electrical bell. Now, meaning this customer, the one you're going to do the wiring, he needs electrical bell. Either he wants someone, if there is a visitor on the door, he press a bell, electrical bell, then a bell inside will indicate that there is a visitor. You know, nowadays people install doors which are, you may find the whole door is a glass, made of a glass, only glass. Now, you don't need to knock someone's glass, you may break it. Okay? You need to press a bell switch, then a bell inside, an electric bell will vibrate and someone will come out to open for you. Not to shout that, is there someone here? No. Or to knock on someone's glasses, you might break them. You might come with dirty hands and you start knocking, you know, you make someone's door look, I don't want to say it. Now, these electrical bells, this is the symbol. Even on the plan, they will show you that this is an electrical bell. But once you know it inside you, it will be very simple for you. You just see the sign. You don't need to look for how do they call it. If to be curious, you can go and read on the content down there. They will show you that this is the way I've designed it is the way they write it for you. On the plan, it is there. Some plans they think you know, and they don't write that this is electrical bill. They just put a sign. Let's say this is the house. Okay, this is the door. The door they will put like this. Now someone can put here a symbol like this. Then he puts here a symbol like this. That is the main switch. Then he puts here, this is one bedroom or a sitting room. Then he puts here a symbol. Okay, now meaning he has here a main switch, electric bell, and a socket in one room. This is a room. If you're an electrician, you will just know that this is a door. There is a switch here. Okay, this is a switch. There is a lamp here. I told you this is a symbol of a lamp. Plan is done. If they help you and they put for you, they indicate for you how the wire is going to move, you will know how to do it. But sometimes they don't put these wires. They put for you the symbols in the room. You will know that there is a bulb here, there is a main switch here, there is an electrical bell here, there is a socket here, there is a switch here. Electrically done. The next thing is to wire them. To do the pipe work, first of all, you need to first chisel. You chisel where you're going to put your main switch. You chisel where you're going to put your switch. You chisel where you're going to put your bell, your socket. Then light here. It shows that a light is in the center. Don't think that it is down. on the floor, it shows that it is in the center. Okay, then after putting your pipes, then do the wiring. After doing your wiring, then fix the last installation. Okay, now I was just showing you a simple small diagram which shows the wiring, how they do on the electrical plans. Okay, a luminous push button I've showed you. This is a push button. This is a push button with the light, but this push button has no light. Electric bell, it is this. Now, electric bell and electric buzzer, they look the same. Okay, schools can use these electric bells. Schools. Buzzer, electric buzzer, you can put this, they are the one we use in the houses. Okay, electric buzzer, they don't have too much, you can control their sounding. But electric bell, once you click, the bell will give the sound. Okay, bell will change electrical sound into sound energy. Electrical energy into sound energy. Electric buzzer, they are the one we use in the houses, because you may be having a patient with pressure and someone click electric buzzer or electric bell. If you have installed electric bell inside your house, someone can die for nothing when he has high blood pressure. And this bell it gives a loud sound which can intentionally, without knowing that someone is on the door, and it brings problem for nothing. Now these are the one we use, electric buzzer, the one we use in the house, and they are symbol, they look alike. Be cautious on the symbols. This one, it goes like this, then this one, it goes like this. Electric buzzer. Okay, now we have another one, time switch. Okay, time switch, these are the one we call the timers. Okay, you time your switch that if it is 7, let's say if it is 7 p.m. switch on, they are normally automatic. Okay, they have the timer, you set the timer, then it will switch on automatic without you switching it on. That is the time switch, or we call them the timer. Let's have, okay, above this, some explanation about the timer switch. You can be somewhere, not at home, but you want your security lights to turn on during evening time, and you can come back. You may take long to come back home, and you install this timer that if it reaches 7 p.m. security lights will turn on, and thieves will think that someone is inside the house. Just because you have installed a timer, you set it to 7 p.m. When it reaches 7 p.m., your switch, your fence will light up, and even your house may light up if you have used this timer switch until you come and switch off. Okay? Another symbol, it shows an automatic fire detector. This symbol, if you see, it shows automatic fire detector. When there is, these are the detectors which we install. In case there is fire starting, these detectors send signals to the alarms, and the alarms will start bringing out the sound. Without installing these detectors, if the fire starts, there is nothing which will switch off, switch on the alarm. Okay, fire alarm. Now this automatic fire detector, they are automatic fire. The moment fire starts or smoke comes out, it detects. They normally install where you expect fire, normally, or after entering, before entering the kitchen, you can install it there, because kitchen is where we cook all the time. Anything, you can be cooking something and you move away, or you move outside the house, and something or a cooker may start fire. But the moment before fire starts, smoke comes first. When smoke comes in this detector near the kitchen and it detects smoke, it will do what? Send a signal to the alarm, to the alarm, and the alarm will give the sound and sending the signal to the police. Okay? Another symbol, there is a symbol of light, X, but on the one side it is closed, meaning this one side which is closed is the wall, like the way you see the wall. Okay? Light on the wall, that's why we call it lighting point mounted. The lighting point is mounted on the wall. Okay? On the sides of the wall. This is the symbol, meaning on the wall there is a light, or you must put a bulb. On the plan it will be like this, and you know that, oh, this my customer wants a bulb there, wants a bulb here, wants a bulb the other side. Okay? On the wall, mounted on the wall. Okay? Another symbol, it is again X, but covered sometimes upper side and the down part. This symbol shows an emergency lighting point. You see, it shows an emergency lighting point. Emergency lighting point, these are lights in case where you're not using. Some places we don't normally use. For example, in the stores, emergency lighting points. In case, emergency lighting point, you can install a solar system, an inverter, power from inverter. It is an emergency in case electricity has gone off. Then you go and use these emergency lighting points. You switch on, because it is a general problem in the village. The transformers got burnt. Now you go on your emergency lighting point, use that emergency lights. Okay? Now this symbol here down, it shows a spotlight. There is a bulb which shows a light and something like a C and two arrows, meaning spotlight. They spotlight that place. Okay? Spotlights. Okay, these are one of the electrical symbols. Let us see some others. Okay? Okay. Now, we continue with our electrical symbols. We have this. It shows a line, a dash, and the endings. Okay? A dash and the endings, which represent a single fluorescent lamp. Single one fluorescent lamp. Fluorescent lamps are, these lamps, fluorescent, they are long tubes. These long tubes, those are the one we call fluorescent lamps. Okay? If you see it is one, meaning it is single. When on the electrical plan, if you see something like this, okay, just know they mean a fluorescent lamp. Don't put these normal bulbs, energy savers, but put a fluorescent tube. Okay? Electrical symbol we have this. I know a lot of people have come across such a symbol on a diagram or in a circuit diagram, electrical diagram, electronic diagram. On electrical, we use this symbol as to represent earthing. Earthing. Okay? But in electronics, we still represent this as earthing, but we don't use this word in electronics. We use ground. This is a rod, earth rod. This is the ground. This represents the ground, meaning earthing. And in electronics, we can use this word ground. To use, it is normally in electronics, once you see this, it is a negative terminal. It is the ground. Okay, negative terminal. Once you see we see this symbol, that is the negative terminal or the ground. Okay, We go on. In electrical, this represents earthing. There is an earth there. Okay. Another electrical symbol we have again, I'm seeing a socket and a switch. There is a socket. This is a socket, a symbol for the socket. That's number one. Then there is another one, which is a switch. Meaning we have a socket and a switch. Have you ever seen the cooker control units? The cooker control unit, it has a socket. It's like this. I'm going to rub off so that I don't confuse you. Now, this is a socket. Okay? And it has a switch this side. Meaning, a switch has a pilot lamp. Meaning, you can use this socket to put either your kettle to cook water or to boil water. Okay? Now, this switch is the one which switches your cooker. This is the cooker control unit. It switches the what? The cooker. You need to switch on here. Then your cooker will start off bringing off the heat and you switch off. And this lamp will show you that you have either switched off the cooker or you have switched on or off the cooker. If it is off, the pilot lamp will not light. If it is on, the pilot lamp will light, either red, normally red color. This is the cooker, what we call the cooker control unit. This is the unit. Okay? It is a socket with a switch, and its symbol is this: a socket with a switch. A socket with a switch. And it looks like this. Okay? Let me rub it off so that we don't get confused. I hope you are doing small notes about the symbols. I'm giving you the basic symbols we use in electrical wiring diagram. You can have a plan and you can even make a plan. The moment you master these things, you can design an electrical plan. Okay? Now, check this. We have a master. What this symbol, it looks like a socket, but it's not a socket. It has a dash here. It is the master switch. Master switch. This master switch, whenever you hear master, it shows it controls. It may even control the whole circuit or the whole system, the whole installation. It is the master switch. As you know, anyone called master, someone big. Your master. Okay? Now, this switch, the master may control the whole system. You may be having a main switch, then you have a master switch before you start installing. Power will pass through the main switch, then the master switch, then to the installation of the house. Now, the moment you switch off the master switch, all the installation made switch off. Or when you want all the lighting points to pass through the master switch, wire the main switch, then connect the wire which goes to the lighting points, to the switches and the bulbs. Let it pass through the master switch. So that when you switch off the master switch, you don't need to go to the main switch to switch off all the lights. Only switch off the master switch and all lights will switch off. I think it is the one supporting it also help on the main switch. If you don't want to go to the main switch, you can tell someone, switch off that master switch, all lights will be off from the main switch. Some people use master switch to bypass. Okay? You can switch off the master switch, then you can bypass power. If you're using either solar, either inverter, okay? Then the power which from the meter only ends in the main switch the moment you switch off the master switch. Okay? But I will show you the master switch. Its lesson will come only the master switch, so that you know how people bypass power. I'm not on that, but I will show you. Now we have another electrical symbol. Electrical symbol, we have a distribution board. If you see this symbol on an electrical plan, just know there is a distribution board. Distribution board is the board which distribute power. Mainly it is an AC, or AC, high voltage with 3 phase. Okay, 3 phase distribution board. Some people call main switch distribution board. No, a distribution board is different from a main switch. The main switch, remember, the first symbol we saw, it was of a main switch. If you go back on the video, and you will see how a main switch looks like. And here we have a distribution board. One part is shaded, another part is not shaded. Okay, it is a board which opens. It is very big. Normally it is very big. It is installed on big premises or a flat house where power starts from the 3 phase. Normally a flat house is connected with 3 phase system. 3 phases, so that you control the power current flowing in the buildings. If it is a long building, always we recommend you bring a 3 phase system. And this distribution board, 3 phase, first to go there, black, yellow, blue and red. Those are the colors. Or yellow, red and blue represent 3 phase. And black, which is neutral, those are 4 wires, whereby we shall reach there when we are starting, when we are reading, when we are revising about the wires. This is called a 3 phase, which is blue, yellow and red. 3 phase. Then a black is 4. In electrical, we read this system, a 3-4 wire system. 3-4 wire system. The moment someone tells you, this system is the 3-4 wire installation, meaning there is a 3 phase and the 4th one is a neutral, which is black. A 3-4 wire system, that is a 3 phase system. So this is the distribution board. It has also circuit breakers inside. Circuit breakers which can supply to the building, to the main switch. This board, power comes from here to these circuit breakers, from these circuit breakers to the main switch of that house. Meaning every person in that building has the main circuit breaker in the distribution board. And this circuit breaker supplies its power. It carries 2 cables from the circuit breaker that is live. Then the neutral point, you tap on the neutral point, which is black. It goes to one, let's say people, if they are renting, okay, it goes to the main switch of that house. Then from that main switch, it is when you again do the wiring of the house, sockets, switches. Okay, yeah, this is the distribution board. Then the main switch is also there. Hope we have the difference. The main switch is a bit small and distribution board is big. As you hear its name, it distributes power in the building. It is where the 3 phase comes. Then it starts distributing that 3 phase into circuits, the main circuit, these circuit breakers. Then from the circuit breakers, it goes to the main switch. Also, main switch has circuit breakers inside. Which circuit breakers goes to the lamp sockets in your system, in the wiring system in the house. But you can't pick power from the distribution board direct inside the house. It goes first to the main switch. Then from the main switch, it goes inside your circuits in the house. Circuits, I mean lights, sockets, power, the cooker, okay? From the main switch, not from the distribution board. Okay, now, again we have this symbol. there is a circle plus a cross. A cross meaning plus a symbol. I think someone has seen that this is the light. If I remove this which are passing, okay, it represents, let's say like here, a bulb, this cross. But here has crosses which are passing, the circle, representing a ceiling lighting point. Sometimes they can put only this, but this is for the bulb. But once you see these strips passing through the circle point, it means ceiling lighting. It is a lighting point. This lighting point, you can fix a fluorescent bulb. You can fix this fluorescent bulb because you just put a circular box on the ceiling. It represents a circular box whereby you can either put a bulb or a fluorescent light. It is just a circular, a ceiling lighting point where you can connect your cables and leave them. Then you select either you put a bulb or a tube, a fluorescent tube. Now, check this. Also, this has a circle and this represents also a wall. Remember I told you there is the other one, X, with a side, which has a side which is a bit with closed, which represent a wall, also a wall light. Now also this one represent a wall lighting point. If you see this on the electrical plan, it represent a wall lighting point. There you need to put a light, a point for lighting system where we shall put a bulb. This is just a symbol, electrical symbols on electrical plan. Okay, on our plan you will find these symbols. I told you that you may find they don't write these things on the plan. I will show you how the plan looks like. They don't write the things. Okay, a plan. I'm going to explain this plan and you will see how it comes in, how they use these symbols. Okay, now this is the bulb. This is the symbol which represents a bulb. This one everyone knows, I think. From the beginning we are using this, giving examples on electrical circuits. Okay, now check this. A small circle with a hook. This, whenever you see this sign, it shows a one-way, one-gang switch. One-way, one-gang switch. This represents a switch. Okay, our normal switch. One gang. A gang is, some people don't know this, how we call this. This is the switch. Okay, now our switch has this thing which we press inside. Either you press down and up. If you press down, that is on. If you press up, off. Okay, now this is what we call the gang. Okay, now this gang is one, meaning it is one way. One way. Behind the switch there are two terminals where you put your two terminals. This is one way. Now there are switches which have three terminals. This is behind the switch. This is in front of the switch. This is behind. When there is L1, L2 and a common. This is a two-way. This is, if it is only two terminals without this is a two-way with three, where you can put three cables. But where you can put one cable, it is one way. Now this is a one-way switch. One way, one gang. Now a gang, this is a gang which we switch on and off. It is, we switch on the gang, we switch off the gang. If there are two gangs, like the way we are going to see here on this symbol, it has these hooks there too. This is a two-way. like the way I've seen you, behind it, it has live 1, live 2. Okay? With the common. It has where you can put 3 cables. A two-way, it means it is a two-way. It has two-way with 1 gang. Now this one has two-way with 2 gangs. Gang switch. These are 2 switches. And behind it, on 1 gang it has common live 1, live 2. On the next gang it has common live 1, live 2. There, it's like this. Behind this switch, it has something like this. Live 1, live 2. 2 gang. On this 2 gang, two-way, 2 gang. This is 1, this is 2 gang. I mean, these are the 2 gangs. Okay? The one we switch on. Now, behind it, it has live 1. One gang has live 1, live 2. Another gang also have live 1, live 2. All have common. And we shall see when we reach on the connection of this switch. How you connect the switches. Okay? Now, this is a two-way. A two-way. Some people call it two-way, 2 gang. Technically. Okay, when you're learning, you need to learn the basic word, how we pronounce it. But when you delay in the field, if you are now getting experience, you just say two-way. Simple. Give me a switch of two-way. It is two-way. This is a one-way. Live 1, live 2, it means two-way. You bring your live here in the common. You may either connect here in a live 1, either you connect here in a live 2. That is a two-way. It is a two-way. You can call it a two-way switch. You can call it a two-way switch. Now, when they are 2 with 2 gangs, they are called two-way. This is one way. This is another way. They are two-way. It is a one way, and another. This one also is a one. This is a two-way. A two-way, meaning a two-way. Okay, with the 2 gangs. In front it looks like this. Behind it looks like this. A two-way with live 1, live 2. You can either connect in live 1. Your common comes in the common terminal, the one bringing power. Brings in the common. Then here in the live 1, live 2, you select one which you want to use. It depends on where you're going to use these sockets, these switches. Okay? They don't just design electrical plan and they just put them there. No, it has a reason why they have put these things. Normally, we use these things when we want to control the corridor. When you're going to control either someone is entering from this side, you can use a two-way gang. Okay? And if the corridor is long and someone may want to switch off the corridor light on the other end, then we use a two-way gang. With an intermediate, we are going to see the intermediate. We wire one switch here on the entering of the corridor and another switch on the ending of the corridor. We use the two-way switch. You can say I want a two-way switch, 1 gang. Okay? And this is the gang, which the one we switch on and off. It's called a gang. Okay? Now, let us continue and see some few of them which we use on the electrical plan. Then we can. Okay, now we are still finishing these electrical symbols. Okay, I'm giving you just a sample of them, but I've given you the basics which we use in electrical engineering or electrical installation mapping to study the map, electrical map. Okay, or how to interpret the electrical symbols on electrical installation plan, on the plan, not even a map, it is a plan. Okay, but some people can call it a map, electrical map, like you map where you're going to install your electrical instruments. Now we have this symbol. This symbol it is a one-way two-gang switch. I remember I've told you that when you're going to buy a switch to install any installation, okay, we are going to start talking about two ways. One way to either one-way two-gang, either two-way two-gang or two-way one-gang. These are the terms used in electrical switches. The switch we use inside our houses. They have the way we terminate, the terms we use. In case you're going to buy them at the shop, you need to be knowing these things as an electrician or as an engineer, technician. You need to know these terms. It depends where you're going to install your switch. One switch, you may find one switch with very many gangs. For example, this is our switch with 3 gangs. 1 gang, 2 gang, 3 gang. Remember, I'm using gang because I remember explaining to you that a gang is the one we switch on and off. Switch on and off. It is that thing which plays on the switch. It is called a gang. Now, some switches have 3 gangs. You can put this 1 gang, you connect it to the sitting room, another gang connected in the bedroom, another gang connected in the kitchen. You see that one switch is using only one switch. We have used only one switch, but it is controlling different rooms because of these different gangs. Okay, that's why now this switch is called a one-way, because it is only live is going to come, and this switch is independent, this one is independent, this one is independent. Now we're just going to loop the one switch. You bring your live in the one switch, you loop that one, then the next terminal, it goes to the light. That's how we connect the switch. Now, after bringing your live in one, let's say this is your live, it comes in this one gang, you connect, terminate it. But before you terminate it, connect on this live which is coming, because you need to supply. Even this switch needs supply, this switch needs supply, and you have one supply. It is one way. That is how we call it one way. Now, trip some 2 cables, connect them with this one which is bringing power, that one way. You also tap, you tap here on this live, and you tap also. Now, meaning on this is the live coming. This live, we shall tap and connect also on this gang, and also tap another cable to connect on this other gang. You see? Now, all of them have got live, but it is one way coming. That's why we call it one way. These are the terms you need to use. It is one way, one live coming. But we have supplied this gang and we have supplied this gang. Meaning, now this gang, the output of this gang, the first one, is going to the light which is controlling the sitting room. And we connect our live to the light which is going to the sitting room. Meaning, when you switch off this light, the sitting room will be off. But the second gang will be going to the bedroom. Okay? Now, another terminal which is not connected, remember it has got the live from terminated, which has got some leak from here. Then this is going to the bedroom light. When you switch off, bedroom light will be off. Meaning, and this one, the same thing to the kitchen. When you switch off, the kitchen will be off, not lighting. Okay? It goes to the bulb. Okay? Now, it is called one way because it is only one live which is bringing. That is a way. Live is the one which we call a way from the main switch. Okay? It is a one way, but it has 1, 2, 3. Like here, we have one way, two gang switch. What about this one? It is called one way, three gang switch. That is how we talk in terms of switches in electrical. Okay? Once we master these terms, you will know. Once you see a symbol that like this one, it is one way. One way is this one coming, live. Okay? Live is the one coming, one way. But these are the gang. Okay? One way, two gang switch. Now, if you're going to buy a switch, if you tell someone who is selling in electrical shop, give me a one way, two gang switch, meaning it is a one way. Let me show you what this means, that switch, how it look like. I want you to understand the things clearly. This is the switch, the normal switch. It has one way, two gang. Gangs, the one we switch on and off, they are two. These are the gangs. Now, this is the one which you can press this on, off, on, off. I think you have seen that switch. Two gang. One way, two gang. But on electrical plan, you will see it like this. Technically, you just know that here we need a one way, two gang, meaning one gang is going to control another room and another position. Another gang will control another position. Some people do like this. In the sitting room, you can connect a two gang, either three gang, either four gang. One gang will control the light in the middle of the sitting room. Another gang will control the lights on the walls. Then if there are three in case, it depends on the wiring, the way customer wants to design his house. Only one switch. If you don't want a bulb inside in the middle to light, you can switch off from this one gang because you did the wiring. And this gang is going direct to the center lamp. And this another gang is going on the wall lamps. Either you want the wall, because wall lamps, they light on the ceiling and you get the reflected light. Sometimes if you have visitors that they want either party, you have a party in the house, you want bright light, you can also switch on the center light and the wall lamps using these two gangs. It depends on how you wire. That's why we call these terms. You need to master these terms, these symbols. One way, two gang. Now this is a one way, two gang. A one way mean you bring your live. This is your live. It goes in one gang. Then you tap from there. You tap and also bring in another gang. It is only one live, one way, which has brought the live. Then only just a link to another gang, just to supply this gang. Then this gang can go to the center light, to the center bulb, and this gang goes to the bulbs on the wall. And this is how we wire the house. It depends on how many gangs you want, how many lighting points you want to control. Some other people, they get one switch. This is a switch, one gang, and they connect the center light on this switch, also the wall lamps, the lamps on the walls, also on the same switch. One gang, meaning when you switch off this gang, everything will switch off. The center light, the chandelier, the wall lamps will switch off. But once you use this principle, use two gangs, okay? Separate the wiring in that switch. We shall read there and we see. Then you can control where you want. If you want to read, you can switch on the chandelier, the center lamp. If you want to watch a movie in the sitting room, you can switch off the chandelier and leave the wall lamps, which lights on the ceiling, and you get the reflected lights. By the way, me personally, I love that reflected light in the house. It is so soft. After light going to the ceiling, then the ceiling reflects it inside the house, it is very calm light, okay, than these direct lights. And all my installations, that's how I do it. I don't want this direct light. I advise client to have that calm light. You can see everything, but a reflected light is so soft than these direct lights from the chandelier. Those lights, I don't want them, but people want them. That is my choice personally. Okay, now this is the principle how we talk these things. It is a 2-gang one-way switch. 2-gang one-way switch. One way is live, the only one wire coming, but we are separating this power from live to supply also another switch. Some other people, they just use 1-gang. This one is called one-way 1-gang. You see how the names come. This is 1-way 1-gang. You can go on the shop and say, give me 1-way 1-gang switch, and they give you 1-way 1-gang. You can say, give me 1-way 2-gang switch, and they give you 1-way 2-gang switch. You can go and say, give me 1-way 2-way 2-gang, and they will give it to you, a 2-way 2-gang switch. You see the terms where we use them. Someone just go on the electrical shop and you say, give me a switch, and someone will tell you this switch is 10K. Let's say 10K, or let's say it is $5. And another switch, the same gang, and it tells you is $3. Now, there comes when you don't know these electrical symbols. You don't know how to talk in switches. This one may be, because it is expensive, that's why it may be a two-way, but also it can work in a position of a 1-way. Okay? A two-way switch, 1-gang. It is the same, it can work the same function like a 1-way 1-gang. But this one, because it is a 2-way, this one is a 1-gang, a 1-way. Now the prices changes. That's why you need to know, is it a 1-way? Give me a 1-way switch. A 1-way 1-gang. 1-way 2-gang. 2-gang, you are using only one switch, small one switch, but small space, but controlling different positions. Okay? Okay, I wanted to show you something about the gang. These symbols are very, very crucial. Without mastering them, without knowing them, you will not know how to read an electrical plan. But after knowing these symbols, you will know how you explain or how to interpret the electrical plans. Okay, there is another one like this. A two-way 1-gang switch. A two-way 1-gang switch. In front, these switches look the same. In front, these switches, a 1-way gang looks the same like a 2-way gang in front, because it has 1 gang. They all have 1 gang. Okay? Now, behind them, it is where the science is. A 2-way gang it is the one which has common live 1, live 2, live 1, live 1, live 2, and the common. In front, they are the same, but if you change where you're going to terminate to connect your cables, that's where the science is. In front, it is 1 gang. Even one, it is a 2-way 1 gang. Even a 1-way 1 gang. If you see them in front, where the gang is, you will see that those are the same switches. But if you turn them, that's where we have the science behind. It is either 1-way 1 gang or two-way. Now, for a 2-way switch, it has 2-way, because I told you live represent a way. Now this switch, if you see this switch, if you see it behind, you will see it written live 1, live 2 and another common terminal on top here. Meaning a two-way switch has 3 terminals. Now in front here it may be having 1 gang, but behind it has 3 terminals. Common, live 1, live 2, because live 1 is 1 way, live 2 is 2 way. The same thing applies in 1 way, 1 gang. Behind it you'll find only the one which is going to receive a live for this 2 way, and it is the one which receives a live, common. But where is it going to supply? This 2 way is going to supply in two ways, 1 way and another live 1, live 2. Now in a 1 way it has also 2 terminals. The one receiving the live, which is the common, and live 1 only. This is another switch. This is a 2 way. It is written like this, a 2 way. This is written like a 1 way. These are 2 different switches, but 1 gang. Meaning they can work the same function, they have the same function in the same place, but it depends if you're going to wire a different type of wiring. A 2 way is better than a 1 way. You can use a 2 way in a position of 1 way, but sometimes you cannot use a 1 way in a position of 2 way. This one has multiple choices. If you want to turn it to be a 1 way, you can ignore the live 2 and use live 1. It turns into a 1 way. You can also turn it to be a 2 way. This is the one we use in a corridor. When you're wiring a corridor, always use a 2 way switch, whereby someone can switch from when he's entering a corridor and he sees where he's going, then he can switch off when he's the other side of the corridor. We use a 2 way switch, not a 1 way switch. Okay? Okay. Hope you are getting something. In electrical, we don't forge, as I told you. In electrical, we don't forge. In electrical, we understand what we are doing. The moment you forge, you are bringing problems. Electrical, we don't forge. We understand what we are wiring. Okay? If you don't understand, you leave the wiring. You leave it. Electrical, we don't do anything we don't know. Nothing. Unless when you want to see some fire. I told you electrical is fire. Now another symbol, we have what we call intermediate switch. This is how it looks like. Intermediate. It passes this side, it may pass this side, it may pass this side, it may pass this side. It is intermediate. It is in the middle. Intermediate means something which is in the middle. Now, here comes. This is the switch which is used in the long corridors. Okay? In the long corridors, so that someone can switch off from the other side, or switch off from the other side, or switch on. If someone passes the other side, he can switch on from the other side or switch off. It plays either sides. It is intermediate. Okay? It passes this side or it goes and passes this side. Or it passes this side or it goes and passes this side. You can switch, you can control power from the other end or to this end. Switch on the other end or off. Or you can switch on from this end or off. It is intermediate. It is the one doing the connection. And this intermediate is connected with a two-way. You use a two-way, as I told you. In a corridor, we use a two-way. Now, in a two-way, we connect with the intermediate in the middle, then another two-way. In a corridor, we use 3 switches. One switch, some people, if it is a short corridor, not long, you can use two switches. One switch the other side, another switch this side. That is a two-way switch. But the best wiring, we normally put an intermediate switch. to act the wiring to be properly wired. Okay, this intermediate switch, it is in the middle. Let's say this is our two-way. Okay, then intermediate in the middle of the corridor. Intermediate has 4 terminals. Okay, these two-way has 3 terminals, 1 gang. These are intermediate has 4 terminals. Okay, it has 4 terminals, and then you connect on the other end another two-way switch. Now, if your live is here, these two, live 1 will come here, live 2 goes here, then here also you can bring your live, and this is our bulb. Okay, now the powers come like this. This is the bulb in the corridor. This is a corridor. We shall reach this time when we are doing the wiring, then I show you how they wire. Then live 1 will come here, and live 2 will go here. You see how we have connected the intermediate with the 2 switch. Each side of the intermediate has supplied, this side has supplied this switch, the other side has supplied the other switch. Now, this is our live. This is our neutral, which goes to the, no, this is our light. Let me see. Yes, no, this is our, not neutral, this is our, neutral is the complete. Neutral, our live comes like this, it passes here to intermediate, it goes to the, this another switch from the other side. Okay, this is switch 1, this is switch 2, then it goes to the bulb, then the bulb continues to the neutral, return. Okay, live, if you switch on the other side, this bulb will be on. If you switch on this end, the bulb will switch off. Because of the intermediate, it is connecting, intermediate is here, it is connecting either this side, either you can control the other side or you can control this side. Intermediate switch, very important. Okay, we shall see these wirings, and you master the wiring. All installations, you will be able to install a house. Either it has a long corridor, you will be in position to know what to do. Okay, now there is a fuse. A fuse, this represents a fuse for protection. That's the use of a fuse to protect a circuit from over current. Now, this symbol which you see here, it shows cables. One cable is passing, another cable is passing, but in the middle they have connected a T-joint. Cable connected in T-joint. If you see here, just know that these cables have been joined together. One is going the other side, one is going another, but they have the center where they are connected. Cable connected together. This symbol, it looks like this one, but this one has something like a hump, meaning one cable is passing, another cable is jumping. This sign shows cables crossing, or crossing cables. They are crossing, they are not connected. This one is crossing over this one. This is a sign which shows that these cables are not connected. This one, it is passing. This is the way we do in electrical. If you want to see, to show that I have not connected on this cable, you use this sign, then you continue your wiring. Okay, this sign, this electrical sign, it shows a transformer. This is a primary side, this is a secondary side, because a primary has 2 sides, a transformer has 2 sides, a primary side, a primary coil, and a secondary coil, whereby power starts from here. Power starts from this side, either live or neutral. Then it goes output of a transformer. primary side, and this is a sign of a transformer. Now, in a transformer, we have two types of transformers. We have a delta transformer, which is represented by delta, the triangle. Okay, this triangle represents a delta transformer. Once we are talking about the transformers, and you see something like this, it is a delta transformer. Meaning, what is this triangle? These are coils. There is one coil, it has one end here. Another coil is connected here, it has another end here. Then another coil is connected here. It makes a triangle. Okay, this is a delta. We shall learn them much when you reach at the transformer. Okay, now a transformer, another type of a transformer, we have a star transformer connection. Transformers are connected either in a delta connection or a star connection, but in types of transformer we have a step up and a step down transformer. But these are how they are designed inside them. They are either in a delta connection or in a star connection. In a star connection, you see something like a Y. There is one coil connected here. There is another coil which is also connected in the center. There is another coil connected in a star form. This is a star form. That's why we call it a star transformer connection. This is called a delta transformer connection. Okay, but this is the general symbol which shows a transformer. When you see a transformer and it has this, just know inside the transformer, it is connected in delta format. And this is for three phases, where the three phase, on this corner we have one phase, on this corner we have two phase, also on this corner we have three phase. You see how the phases come? Now the same thing applies on this star transformer. If you look at the transformer, you will see they will show you a sticker which that this type of transformer is connected in star connection. Now, three-phase transformer. These are three-phase transformer. Check where one phase, live 1 on this terminal, another phase, live 2, another phase, live 3. This is three-phase 1, 2, 3. It is the one we call the three-phase. The three-phase transformer. These are the lines. You see the overlines which you see outside our houses, which are transmitting the electricity in three-phase. People say three-phase, but three-phase are either connected in delta or connected in star connection. Okay? And the three-phase are the yellow, the red, or blue three-phase. The neutral, when we start the transformer, I'll show you how we get the neutral. The neutral is got from here on the star connection. In between, because they say, this is a simple explanation. Live 1 on a three-phase is very dangerous. It carries 415 volts. Even the same thing, live 1, live 2, there is 415 volts. It depends the amount of voltage is being transferred with this transformer. Now, in the middle of this live 1, live 2, live 3, in the middle is where we get the line of neutral. That is where neutral we got it from. And even earth is also got from this point, earth. On the star delta, I will explain to you this when we come on the transformer information, okay? Then I explain to you how we get the neutral point or the neutral conductor or the neutral wire, which we call the neutral, which it has no voltage. But do you see where we get it from? In the middle of these phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, we get the neutral point. And also the earth is also introduced from there. There is nowhere you'll get earth. Earth starts from here on the transformer, on the high voltage 3-phase system. We shall reach there, then we can come up and see how we come up with the installations. Now, if you have understood these terms, electrical symbols, meaning you have ability to interpret electrical plan. You yourself, if you know all the things, okay, you are able to start, you can design an electrical plan or interpret an electrical plan. Okay, these symbols, these electrical symbols, you will always find them. You get a job, you go in an installation, okay, you get a contract. Without these terms, how can you wire someone's house? The engineers have done their work, they have put electrical symbols. It is now you, electrician, to interpret and start doing the work. That is the work of electrician. An engineer has done his part to design for you what to do. If you see this symbol somewhere, just know the engineer has ordered you to use a two-way one-gang switch somewhere. If you see this symbol somewhere in that position, please put a one-way two-gang switch. If you see this symbol, meaning there is an intermediate somewhere installed when you're doing your pipe work, put them in consideration. A fuse, a cable, transformer. If you come in transformer and you see delta, star, just know what to do. You know what to do. In electrical, we don't forge. We understand what we are going to do. Never forge, never guess. Okay? But please, if you understand slowly, don't rush. Not something, think about it, how it is. If you don't understand, in the comment section, you can write for me and I can explain to you something you don't understand, anything you don't understand. Please be free in the comment section. I'm there for you. Comment anything you need to understand and I will show you how it is done. Thank you for watching. We have completed our fundamentals of electricity. I know now you have a huge knowledge about the fundamentals of electricity. And without these fundamentals, the next steps where we are going, it will be hard for you. Though some people have experience in electrical, but it doesn't stop you from knowing. Knowledge doesn't stop. Knowledge, if you know something, just know there is someone who knows more than you. Not only this knowledge, but there are more knowledge than this one. There is someone who knows more than me. Okay? Now, all this where we have come, you know the terms, what to use. Now we are going in, the next topics are going to be on the generation. Okay? We have finished the fundamentals. We are going to start the generation of electricity. You don't need to miss the generations. Which power stations where electricity is generated, the fundamentals are being done. We saw how electricity started, the people who discovered electricity, the terms used in electricity, electrical terms, electrical measurements, electrical symbols. Okay? Now we are going to start the generation. How electricity is being generated, from where and how. Don't miss this channel, these topics which are coming next in generation topics. See you. Never miss. Subscribe. Share the video to your friends, electricians, students. They need the knowledge you're seeing also. To the family members. If you have a friend who wants to join electrical, please, it is too early. Let him join the topic, let him subscribe, and we go on. We are just starting the generation. We are just finishing the fundamentals. Okay? Thank you. See you there. For a single spark, just a hopeless dream.